Hello, I'm back. My deepest apologies for the constant interruptions in last live stream. I truly apologize. But I want to, since I have off today, I wanted to make sure that I stream as much as I possibly can. Oh, look. Wow, I'm so shocked. Even I just got the YouTube notification that this live stream is occurring. That very rarely happens. I am shocked. I just got the notification myself that I'm live. And another one. And another one. Yes, I said I was going to stream again, and I meant it. However, I lied to you about something. We're not continuing on with finishing off Yaba's live stream. Guess who we're going to be reacting to tonight, today, right now, together? I took a little peep in on this absolute dishonest fuckery display, and I decided that this is a must do. This is a fucking must do. Like, holy shit on a shingle, guys. Let's do it. Did I share it yet? No. Hold on, let me share it. I'm not going to put it on screen though. For just in case. You'll understand why when you hear. But present. So you're not going to hear it, but you're not going to see it, but you're definitely going to hear it. Okay. Oh ho ho, Emily S. I think you've guessed correctly, my friend. Like me, oh my. Like, it started out good. It started out, I was like, wow, is this bitch going to be factual? Is this bitch going to be factual and actual and talk fucking reality? But no. Quickly, I was shown that that is just not fucking possible. So let's get right into it. And wait, Kay Winslet, where can I find that? Kay Winslet said, please tell me you're reacting to Purple Glitter. Where is she? Where can I find her? I got tagged in, I think she tagged me on something. And I looked at her channel, and there's only one very short 2-minute and 30-second video on her channel. So where the hell would I react to her? Does she have a different channel? The one that she didn't use to tag me? I don't know. Anyway, let's get right to it.
And the hearing, ultimately, the case was completely thrown out and dismissed based on the merits, not on a technicality, not because so-and-so.
Let's rewind a little bit. I paused it exactly when she begins lying, but let's backtrack a little bit so it makes sense to y'all.
Having a consult with their attorney before he went in to represent her, yeah, on the document, not that confirmed that there had been no subpoena or anything filed, that she was under no legal obligation to be present in court that day. She chose not to be present in court that day and allowed her attorney to be present as required. So AK left, and that is when the tax attorney, I guess, found out that she had really fucked up because she had not filed the proper paperwork in the correct amount of time to get approval for her clients to appear remotely for the hearing. So the hearing went on because the only two parties required to be there were the attorneys, and the attorneys were present, and it was scheduled on the docket. Nikki P says, so AK was having a consult with her attorney.
Now, I just want to point out that Sam is not wrong about what she just said. She is absolutely not wrong about what she just said. And it's just, I want to know also, I asked this question to somebody like Owl. Like, cause this type of content is her particular bread and butter. How come Sam was able to get this information, but Owl was not? That's what I'm questioning. That's what I don't understand. Because up until the point where Sam begins to uh verge off and begin lying about the situation, she has been absolutely accurate about what occurred up until that very point, and I'll tell you when that begins.
Before he went in to represent her, yes. That's my understanding. Oh, and Nikki, or AK in the chat confirms, says yes, Nikki. So that's what that was. She wasn't required by law to be there, and she was not under subpoena to be there either. She didn't have to be there. I wouldn't be there. I'd have been like, deuces. I'll have the attorney that I paid a $2,500 retainer to handle this for me. Yeah, for sure. So the hearing went on. It was not canceled because the parties didn't show up because they weren't required to be there. So that goes both ways. Not only was AK not required to be there, but Gigi and the other dude were not required to be there. Only the attorneys were required to be there. The attorneys were there. The hearing was held. And the hearing, ultimately, the case was completely thrown out and dismissed based on the merits. Not
This is when she begins lying. It was thrown when she starts saying that the case was thrown out based on the merits. That's when she starts going into fictional fucking fantasy land. So holy shit. And yo, I don't know, Anonymous Patriot. I made sure to put your comment on screen. I don't know what comment of yours was deleted, but I surely didn't do it. And right now I'm checking the YouTube page because it gives me a little rundown of anything the mods have done. And it doesn't show me that any of the mods deleted a message of yours either. So, Anonymous Patriot, I don't know. There are certain times where, depending if you use certain words, where Google themselves will intervene. But other than that, I don't know, Anonymous Patriot. Just know that I didn't delete your comment at all.
on a technicality, not because so and so wasn't there, nothing like that. So the very next day, yes, the case was heard. The case was heard. The judge ruled. That's it. They had their motion. They had their day in court. Both attorneys argued in front of the judge. It was heard and it was dismissed on its merits. That means
that is not true at all. Dismissed on its merits would be that can't happen in a defamation case. Like that can't happen in a case of this nature at all. She's talking shit. I don't know if she doesn't understand what those words mean. I don't know if she's being purposely dishonest, but it's unfortunate because up until this very point, the things that she was saying were actual and factual. It's pretty unfortunate.
not because of a technicality. That was dismissed based on the arguments that were heard in court that day during the hearing. So the very next day, the tax attorney files this motion to reinstate case and request for a new TRO hearing, which amounts to she asked for a do-over. She's like, excuse me, I lost in court yesterday. Can I have a do-over? Imagine if
she didn't lose in court. A mistake was made and she didn't file for it to happen virtually. It was not thrown out on its merit. The fucking lawyer made a mistake and did not file for it to happen virtually, which Sam admitted and spoke of before I even began this. I just didn't want to waste time because, she fucking says 18 words when 3 will do. It wasn't worth it. I wanted to get straight to the lies.
if one could do that, petition a court of law, drag someone into court, have your day in court, have the hearing held, have the judge consider it, have the judge dismiss it, and then the opposing party can just say, I'd like a do-over, please bring them back. I want the person who I lost to in court to have to pay another $2,500 retainer fee to an attorney to represent them for a do-over because I mucked it up the first time and lost and had my whole ass handed to me and had my client's case thrown out before it ever got started. No, that's not.
Dude, first of all, a court of law, a judge cannot and will not ever hold the claimant responsible for a mistake made by their lawyer. A judge is not going to punish the claimant for a mistake that was made due to no fault of their own. Like, she's talking shit. Ugh.
The way it works. And each time you say the very next day, your brain goes, you gave it away. I love that song. Oh, Hussey said yesterday he
Yes, Emery, the whole situation, what went wrong, the whole debacle occurred. The reason why court didn't go as planned that day is because the lawyer, their lawyer, Hussey and Gaining Ground's lawyer, she made a mistake and she either did not file or filed incorrectly. Whatever paperwork you need to file to have it held virtually. So that's what happened. Hold on.
will not stop. Well, that's interesting. And I would make sure that your attorney knows that. That says to me, she believes the judge made a mistake. No, that was you, Miss Tax Attorney, who made the mistake. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Gigi, was this, quote, one of your kick-ass lawyers that you have on retainer? LMAO. Carry on, son. He's going to keep harassing you and trying to take you to court. You know, somebody needs to put a stop to that for sure. All right. So then yesterday, AK's attorney filed defendant's response to plaintiff's motion to reinstate case and request for a new 2-hour hearing. So this is AK's attorney's response, AK and her AK through counsel's response to the tax attorney's request for a do-over. I fucking love it. A do-over. Defendant AK through counsel says, procedural background 1, on or about March 8th, 2024, plaintiff Ken Chakachian and plaintiff Cliff Rebello, hereinafter collectively referred to as plaintiffs, filed a complaint and certain associated filings against defendant AK, hereinafter referred to as defendant. 2, said 33-page complaint, and I want you to know the complaint is in parentheses. I mean, quotation marks, sorry. Said 33-page complaint.
I believe Toe says, why do they need a virtual link if only lawyers were required to be there and they were both present? I believe that the only reason why only the lawyers were required to be there is because of the mistake that was made and the paperwork that was not properly filed. If it had been properly filed and things had gone to plan as they should have, they were both supposed to be in court. So I think that was just a side effect of the mistake that was made.
Contains 5 counts alleging the following. Count 1, defamation. Count 2, defamation per se. Count 3, invasion of privacy, unreasonable publicity given to private life. Count 4, false light invasion of privacy. And count 5, intentional infliction of emotional distress. 3, said complaint makes, and I'm adding the emphasis on the word complaint to remind you all that he put complaint in quotation marks. Oh, hold on. Let me click that real quick. Oh, it's right there. Oh, okay. Remind me to play that when I'm done reading this, Alex. Or should, you know what? Let's just pause. Let's just pause real quick. And it's 2 minutes, 20 seconds. We'll pause and listen. And then we'll come back to this since we're just getting started. Hold on. Oh, wait, not settings. Jesus. Present, share screen. Thank you. Alex, thank you.
I'm not just talking. The both of us were. I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about Gigi too. It was hell. It was fucking hell. We were 3 hours almost the night before. We had a meeting. We were going all over our stuff and this and that.
3-hour meeting the night before court, going over everything.
And it was just so.
Yeah, I mean, this is why it was so upsetting to me when Owl, with limited to no information, just assumed everything wrong and then assumed and put blame on Hussey and Gaining Ground like they had done something wrong. Like, in my opinion, they were a victim of something. They were a victim of somebody else making a mistake. Ugh. It's just, this is the problem, and this is the lesson that everybody should learn, to not jump to conclusions and make assumptions based on very little information, especially if you're going to hurl accusations. Do you know what I mean?
Easy. And how that happened, it was just a simple fucking, and I'm not holding it against the lawyer. I'm just not doing it. He said, fuck your lawyer, AK.
What happened? Oh, is this the video?
Getting swatted is dangerous? You don't think that's dangerous? Who did that? Who did that, Bodega? You know, Alex, could every time you open your mouth, could you just take 10 seconds before to think about what you're going to say? Because you are one dumb fuck. Yes,
oh, my.
Bitch.
Oh, my.
Drunk that bitch.
Quite the victim.
Bridget, why don't you go vlogging outdoors? Let me see if the same rule applies to you. Could you do that for me, please? Since you think it's okay for anybody and everybody to call the police on you because you're innocent anyway.
Who called the police on AK? Who called AK's father? You and your co-plaintiff?
Wait, right?
See, I do not agree with going IRL, reaching out to family to any degree. However, in this particular situation, what I was told, the information I was given, and I believe him because Gaining Ground has always told me the truth, even when the truth was not in his favor. He was reaching out in hopes of convincing, like begging her to stop. His first, like, he didn't want to have to take it to a court of law. He's not itching to have lawsuits for bullshit that happens online. He was reaching out to somebody that he hoped had a sane mind that could talk some sense into her for what was going to potentially happen if she continued her defamatory words and behavior.
Okay, I remember that. You gonna vlog anytime soon? I bet you won't, bitch. I bet you won't. Stupid, nasty bitch.
Ooh.
That's what you doing. Not only are you calling me a predator and all that shit, you calling me a fucking fraud. Now, I'll give her a reaction, right? And she'll go and report this channel. That's what she does. She'll go and she'll
You're animating. That was cute. I like that.
report this channel. Go and fucking report it, bitch.
Sam, so are you. So are you. Like, oh my God.
You ain't gonna take this channel down. This channel ain't my channel, okay? So go fucking sit on it. Go fucking sit on one of your fucking crochet dildos that's probably out of shape, bent, and can't even get hard. Even with batteries, bitch, because you're that damn ugly. You that damn ugly, bitch. She said I was in the 5-star hotel, luxury hotel, wearing a designer jacket. Well, who was that designer jacket? Martha Stewart? Nasty bitch.
Okay, thank you for that. I didn't hear him say he wasn't going to quit, but I might have missed it. Okay, let me put my thumbnail back on here. Oh my gosh. Thank you for turning the air conditioning on. I can definitely tell a difference. Boy, I was getting hot. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Totally fine. What an angry little man, says Panda Queen. I know, right? He's gonna pop a vein. What an interesting person. I just love that he and Cliffy are literally going to the courts crying about being victims of bullying and harassment on the internet. It's great. All right, back to the response. 3. Said complaint makes no pretense of complying with Rule 2-303 and, among other things, contains long, unnumbered recitations of alleged happenings and individual numbered paragraphs containing multiple statements and allegations of law and fact. I love that. Contains long, unnumbered recitations of alleged happenings. And
just to interrupt for a second, do you know what's absolutely insane to me? The fact that both Sam and Yaba's take on legal jargon and legal situations in general, like, I have been shown that they have absolutely no understanding of the law, of legal jargon, of what anything means, because of their faux confidence in regards to the bullshit cases that they're taking out for pretend copyright with Belinda and Gaining Ground. That's why it's absolutely crazy to me that Sam continues to pretend and read out legal fucking documents like she's some expert on the matter when she's the furthest thing from it that I've ever seen. I thought it was really important and really necessary to cover this and to point this out because this has to be a lesson. You cannot trust what anybody is pretending or ever saying is that they're reading and deducing certain things from what they're reading, like that the court even provides on their own website. There are certain things that you just can never know by a few words on a page. It just doesn't work like that. And I don't even know. I'm not even sure if it is misunderstanding or willful dishonesty. You never can tell when it comes to people like Sam and Yaba. So I really don't know.
Individual numbered paragraphs containing multiple statements and allegations of law and fact. Number 4. On or about March 8th, 2024, plaintiffs also filed a motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. Although originally this filing was noted to be deficient per Rule 20-203D, it is believed this procedural shortcoming was overcome at some point. I love that her attorney included that. Yeah, her AK's lawyer got legally sassy. Sure did. I love it. Number 5, on or about March 8th, 2024, plaintiffs filed a 38-page.
What it seems like to me, it seems like AK's lawyer is she's trying to use it in her favor, the egregious mistake that was made by Gaining Ground and Hussey's lawyer, as lawyers do. You know what I mean? She's trying to, but that's just, it's not going to fly. all of these things that you're trying to, like, that's the blame is on the lawyer. That has nothing to do with the two claimants. That has nothing to do with the defamation case going forward. It has nothing to do with a new defamation case. It just doesn't work like that.
Quote, memorandum of law in support of plaintiff's motion for TRO and preliminary injunction. Number 6, on or about March 18th, this court entered an order providing that plaintiff's motion for TRO and preliminary injunction shall be set for hearing on May 23rd, 2024. Wow, more than 2 months time. More than 2 months is how long the tax attorney had to prepare for that day, for that hearing, make sure all of her I's were dotted, her T's were crossed. On or about May 6th, 2024, Defendant AK was first served with plaintiff's initial pleadings to include plaintiff's complaint.
And a little bit in the lawyer's defense, she's a lawyer. She knows how to lawyer. But this whole new virtual system is pretty brand new. So while I don't think a mistake like this should have been made, as a human being, I can understand how this mistake was made. And I have to repeat again that this is of no fault of Gaining Ground or Hussey, and a judge would never hold this mistake that has nothing to do with them against them or their case. That's just not how shit works.
And associated filings, plaintiff's motion for TRO, as well as memorandum of law in support of plaintiff's motion for TRO. Number 8, plaintiffs never filed a return of service, so said May 6, 2024 service or process date.
Here's the thing. Here's the truth. As far as Tasm says, bottom line, AK's attorney wanted to burn up that retainer money. And here's the truth. It is unfortunate and it is unfair. If AK has to pay her lawyer double time because of this mistake that also was no fault of her own, she very well could down the line, she could end up suing this lawyer to recoup some of that money for the money that was spent and wasted. Do you know what I'm saying? However, who she can't sue is Gaining Ground or Hussey for that money. If she wanted to, she could definitely try to sue the lawyer, though.
is an estimation by counsel herein. I love the fact that the attorney included the fact that the tax attorney never filed a return of service. Wow. Exactly, Alex. Longer than AK had to prepare. That's right. Lisa Simpson said AK told them herself that they needed to file a motion to appear virtually if they had been paying attention. Trust and believe they heard her say that. All right. So on or about May 8th, 2024, counsel herein, and that's the attorney's name, filed and served his notice of appearance in the matter. So AK was served on May 6th. Her attorney filed an appearance on May 8th. Hearing was scheduled for May 23rd. On May 23rd, 2024, counsel for plaintiff, the tax attorney, and counsel for AK appeared before Judge Quincy L. Coleman for the hearing on the merits of plaintiff's motion for TRO and preliminary injunction. The attorney specifies that it was a hearing on the merits of the plaintiff's motion for TRO. 11. The hearing commenced as scheduled, and plaintiff's counsel attempted to present plaintiff's case by simply reading into the record plaintiff's motion for TRO and preliminary injunction. So that means all the tax attorney did was able to accomplish, or the case that she brought, the game that she brought to court that day, was to simply stand before the judge and read the motion on the record. That was what your tax attorney showed up with.
She has it wrong. She's interpreting all of this wrong. And I'll say again, I don't know if she's being dishonest on purpose or if she just doesn't understand what she's reading. And I don't know if AK was explained what occurred honestly either, or if AK is being dishonest and passing along bad information. I don't know. Nothing was able to go forward because the lawyer did not file for virtual, whatever it's called, for virtual attendance. So literally nothing involving testimony or evidence could go through. That completely cut all court interactions off at the knees. That's why it happened. That's what happened. So all of the,
to court for your hearing for a motion for a temporary restraining order. She showed up with the motion and read it to the court. I love that for both of you. Number 12, plaintiffs did not appear for the hearing. Number 13, plaintiffs did not request a virtual hearing in this matter. 14, plaintiffs were not subpoenaed to appear for the hearing. 15, plaintiffs did not provide any witness testimony as they neither brought any witnesses to the hearing nor subpoenaed any witnesses to otherwise testify at the hearing.
What AK's lawyer is doing, it's crazy. Do plaintiffs, are they the ones that are responsible for doing these things anyway? No. All of these things were absolutely done. There was preparation for hours the day before. All of the fault, all the mistake lies on the shoulder of the lawyer. That's just a fact. Why can't you just admit fact? You can't pretend that this case was thrown out on its merit. You can't, as many times as you try to repeat a lie, it doesn't make it true. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to believe me, fine, don't. But time will tell. Time will show you what the truth is.
And that would include AK. She was not subpoenaed to testify. 16, plaintiffs did not offer any documents or materials into evidence as they did not bring or subpoena anybody else to bring any admissible documents or materials to the hearing. I'm going to read that again. Plaintiffs did not offer any documents or materials into evidence as they did not bring, nor did they subpoena anybody else to bring any admissible documents or materials to the hearing. So their tax attorney, after a 3-hour...
I want you guys to understand the reason why the lawyer is able to make these claims is because all of these things were done virtually. And because a request was not put through to have this done virtually, everything that was prepared virtually is seen as it didn't exist. Do you understand? That is the reason why the lawyer is able to make these claims in the way that they are.
Meeting with her clients the night before the hearing, did not file a motion to appear virtually, did not subpoena any witnesses, including AK, did not enter into evidence any admissible documents or materials, nor did they subpoena anybody else to do so. Literally did nothing. Number 17, none of plaintiffs' filing included affidavits supporting the allegations made by plaintiffs. Not even affidavits. Not even.
Again, I have to repeat again, nothing that was prepared or would be shared through virtual means could be counted because of the mistake that was made in not filing for virtual attendance. I don't know. Like, at this point, I am convinced that she's being purposely dishonest.
In a sworn statement. Number 18, unable to prove, support, or justify any aspects plaintiff's motion for TRO and preliminary injunction, Judge Coleman dismissed on the merits of said motion. 19, on or about May 24th, 2024, which was the day after the hearing in the case.
Do you want to know what gets me the most? Is how somebody can be so confident and condescending when they are absolutely 100% wrong. I don't understand. I don't understand how someone can do that over and over and over again. Truly.
Dismissed on the merits. Plaintiffs filed a document titled, quote, motion to reinstate case and request for a new TRO hearing. Plaintiff's motion to reinstate. Number 20. Plaintiff's motion to reinstate case and request for a new TRO hearing, hereinafter referred to as motion, is a unique filing as there is no Maryland rule providing for such a legal proposition.
Oh, you know what? That's a really good point. Irradiated woman says the more wrong and people are, the more confident. LOL. You know what's unfortunate is I think you're right. I mean, not in all cases. Usually with mentally sound, stable, honest individuals, I don't find that to always be the case. But with some particular few, you are very, very right. And I find personally that the type of individuals that you've described are the most difficult, the most dishonest, and a lot of the times also the most dangerous.
So the tax attorney is literally pulling this shit out of her ass. And AK's attorney is pointing out on the record, on the public court record, I might add, that the tax attorney's motion to reinstate case and request for a new TRO hearing is a unique filing as there is no Maryland rule providing for such a legal proposition. In other words, in the state of Maryland, you don't.
Do you want to know something? Manatee says, but compared to her circle, maybe she is the smart one. LOL. I think that's the case. I think somebody like Sam has purposely put herself in a situation where she can feel like the big fish in a small pond. You know how there are those people in the world who will purposely surround themselves with those they deem as ugly so they can feel more beautiful? There are also people in this world who will surround themselves with those they see as less intelligent as a way to make themselves feel more intelligent. It is a absolute marker for somebody with low self-esteem. And it's unfortunate.
You don't get a do-over when you lose in court, ma'am. So
they didn't lose in court. Do you see what I'm saying? It's this type of language that is so fucking dishonest. I just, again, to me, if we're being serious, this is also defamation. This too is defamation. Like, I'm telling you, it's a real problem that these people have gotten so comfortable with misrepresenting the truth and just willy-nilly lying about anybody and everybody they want to. And while we're talking, we're all sitting here discussing a potential defamation suit. It's just insane. It's insane.
Even if Hussey and Cliffy showed up, they had no evidence because none had been filed. So them not showing up made zero difference. Exactly, Nikki. Exactly. I mean, at least if they had showed up, there might have been some testimony. That counts as something.
Yeah, but you know
But it
what?
would have
She never will. She never will. Vintage Camera Girl says it does her no good because when they go back to court, Sam has to explain to her fans how she was wrong. She never will. Have you ever once? Because I never have. I've never heard her admit fault, apologize, say I made a mistake. She's just not that caliber of individual. She will just lie further. That's what she does. That's what she will do. And Tank Girl says, Sam, a do-over in court is called an appeal. I know. She has such it's not necessarily like I get what you're saying and I agree with you, but the definition of a do-over is not, it does not equate what appeal means, but I know what you're saying.
have been testimony of them just telling their side because they did not subpoena AK and basically force her to be there. The only person required by law to be present were the attorneys. Either side could have issued subpoenas and court orders for people to actually show up. Don't fence me in. Why did they hire a tax attorney for this? Well, they didn't necessarily hire this tax attorney. This tax attorney is just somebody that Hussey's original attorney in DC, Robert Maxwell, knows or is affiliated with, who happens to be licensed in the state of Maryland. So they went with whatever attorney they could find in the state of Maryland who would be willing to take the case on contingency. At least that's what I assume. Wouldn't it be? Thank you so much for joining membership, Sherry. I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. I think I was reading the document. Forever a basic Betty. Thank you so much for joining memberships. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Hashtag sad trombone. The lawyer should not be submitting motions when she has not seen or possessed any of.
Do you know what's really interesting to me? It makes it even more interesting how much Sam has correct and then how much she has chosen to lie. That makes it even more interesting when I hear the lies that she's telling. Like, what is the intention? Is what I want to know. Because the court of public opinion is going to have absolutely nothing to do with this case or the outcome. So I don't understand the intention. Is it for victimhood cool points? Ass pats? I don't know.
The evidence. Very good says she needs to do court better. Anyway, wouldn't it be delicious to find out that Cliffy actually ponied up a retainer for this? They would never admit it publicly. I really don't think they would. But I think it would be absolutely fantastic to find out that Cliffy paid out of his pocket. Because I don't know.
They are not stupid. They are not going to give you any information that you couldn't have found out on your own. It's just not going to happen. How many different times have we criticized others for giving too much information, showing their hand, etc.? They're not going to make that same mistake.
No, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Maybe Robert Maxwell is convincing enough to his friend and colleague to convince her to take that case on contingency, but I wouldn't have. Sherry B says, I heard Hussey saying he was going to subpoena me. LOL, as if. I don't remember if it was for DC or who. Lisa says, oh, child, do I need to leave? No. We're talking about Cliffy, Hussey, AK, and the tax attorney, and AK's badass attorney. So I think we're totally fine, Manning. The two failed weight loss surgery besties, absolute clowns. It's shocking they lose, get to file the trash they did, and it cost AK another $2,500. Ridiculous. I certainly hope that there's some avenue for recourse for AK to recoup these fees. Okay, so that one was delicious. I'm going to read it since Manning's present. the last part I just read, Lisa, was number 20. Plaintiff's motion to reinstate case and request for a new TRO hearing, hereinafter referred to as motion, is a unique filing as there is no Maryland rule providing for such a legal proposition. That was one of my favorites. Literally a licensed attorney asking the court for a do-over because she had her day in court. She made her argument and she lost.
Dude, do you hear things like that? The whole point is they did not have their day in court based on an error made by accident. Like, it's a clerical error. A clerical error was made, and as a result of that, the day in court was not able to be had. Period. Like, this is the type of dishonesty. Somebody who is going to try and turn a mistake and a clerical error and try to convince others that it is a win that should be celebrated. Like, me, oh my.
Number 21, in paragraph 2 of said motion, plaintiffs suggest that Judge Coleman, quote, dismissed the plaintiff's case based on absence of plaintiffs. This is untrue. Judge Coleman dismissed the motion because plaintiffs presented no evidence or other basis for granting of the motion. 22, in paragraph 2 of said motion.
And no evidence could be shown because all of that would have had to have been done virtually. And the paperwork to attend virtually was not put in. Therefore, it was a clerical error. Therefore, a day in court was not had. Period.
And plaintiff's counsel avers that the, quote, failure to bring the plaintiffs to testify was unintentional and the result of plaintiff's counsel not understanding how to request a virtual hearing.
There we go.
Manning, resident legal, says, yeah, is it collateral?
We're gonna just skip over that. Let's listen to that again. Let's rewind it a little bit and let's listen to that last point again.
Well, is that how you say plaintiffs for this is untrue? Judge Coleman dismissed the motion because plaintiffs presented no evidence or other basis for granting of the motion. 22. In paragraph 2 of said motion, plaintiff's counsel avers that the, quote, failure to bring the plaintiffs to testify was unintentional and the result of plaintiff's counsel not understanding how to request a virtual hearing. Manning, resident legal, says, yeah, is it collateral estoppel?
You see how she just scurries right past that last very important, fucking poignant part in what she just read? I assure you there's a reason why she's not, really focusing in on that last one.
Was that how you say it? I don't know how to say it. Anyway, isn't the first week of law school, but probably the second. That's so funny. Okay, so in paragraph 2 of the tax attorney's motion to get a do-over, the tax attorney says that the failure to bring the plaintiffs to testify was unintentional and the result of plaintiff's counsel not understanding how to request a virtual hearing. 23. Plaintiff's counsel not acquainting herself with the procedure to request a virtual hearing is not a legal basis for plaintiffs to have a second hearing on the merits.
Do you want to know why do-over is not the right term to use? Do-over means to do something again. This court proceeding was never able to occur because of the clerical error. You know what I'm saying? Like, a do-over denotes something being tried for the second time. This case was never able to be tried because of the clerical error. That is the point. That is what she is being absolutely dishonest about, with intention, in my opinion.
Merits of the same legal issue. Excellent point. So the tax attorney not acquainting herself with the procedure to request a virtual hearing is not a legal basis for which the plaintiff should be granted a do-over, a second hearing on the merits of the same legal issue. Boy, the tax attorney really screwed this one up, huh? 24. It is also quite presumptuous of the tax attorney to assume that had she...
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I know what you were saying. I was just explaining and using your comment as a jump off point to further explain, but I know what you were doing.
He requested a virtual hearing, that such a request would have been granted, although this is an irrelevant point. That's what he said. I like this attorney. It's quite presumptuous of plaintiff's counsel to assume that had she requested a virtual hearing, that such a request would have been granted, although this is an irrelevant point. I love that shit. That was one of your favorites too, Lisa? Yeah, for sure.
The point is if, let's just say, if this clerical error had not been made and that request was put in a timely manner and done properly, they would have done whatever it took. If the virtual request was denied, which honestly, why would it be? It wouldn't have been denied. But had it been, they would have regrouped and worked around it. Do you know what I mean? Like, yikes.
Okay. In paragraph 3 of said motion, plaintiff's counsel, the tax attorney, explains why she should have requested a virtual hearing. Again, the action or inaction of plaintiff's counsel, the road not taken, provides no legal basis for allowing a second hearing on the merits of this same legal issue. You don't get a do-over because you failed to act. The road not taken. I love it.
No. That is the lawyer asking the judge. Like, that's the lawyer giving their opinion and putting forth legal jargon in AK's favor. The lawyer is trying to be the best lawyer that they can. In fact, it's quite presumptuous of you to think that the judge is going to just accept all of those things and then hold Gaining Ground and Hussey accountable for the mistake of their lawyer. Like, come on now. Do you not understand what a sticky situation would arise if that occurred? Like, come on, be honest.
Number 26, in paragraph 4 of said motion, plaintiff's counsel again argues for a second hearing on the merits of the same legal issue, since plaintiffs, as a result of their own actions or lack thereof, were unprepared for the first hearing. An argument with no basis in law and civil proceedings. That's right. Mr. Lonely has said it best. Could not have said this.
The lawyer is unfairly trying to argue that it was Gaining Ground and Hussey's fault and responsibility to put in these requests. What judge would take that seriously? I could understand if they were representing themselves without a lawyer present, then yes, that would be their responsibility. But the responsibility and the know-how falls on the shoulders of the lawyer. Like, what the hell? I don't understand. What does she not understand? The more I hear, the more I'm shown she has a very weak, if any at all, grasp on the legal system, on legal jargon in general. And it's even crazier that she tries to pretend like she's some kind of expert simply because she watches another lawyer's videos or live streams often. Like, that very obviously doesn't make you a lawyer or make you ay.
Better. Mr. Only says you get what you pay for. Hussey hasn't paid anything. Exactly. You pay nothing, you get nothing. And that's what you got. A big fat fucking nothing burger. It's great. Number 27, per paragraphs 5, 6, and 7 of said motion, plaintiff's counsel makes unsubstantiated and irrelevant allegations that provide no actual legal basis for a second hearing on the exact same legal issues. What plaintiff's counsel thinks plaintiffs could have been established is irrelevant. I think maybe that was the part where plaintiff's counsel was trying to say that
all of these words mean is AK's lawyer is really trying to use this clerical error in her favor, which is what any good lawyer would do. But under the circumstances, like, it is what it is. It doesn't mean, like, again, I have to say, but no judge, no court worth their salt would make Hussey and Gaining Ground pay the price of a clerical error made by their lawyer.
That AK's attorney was acting in bad faith when he told his client, you know, you don't actually have to be here for this. You've not been subpoenaed. Your presence is not required by law.
Let's just say if there was an allegation from the lawyer to lawyer that the lawyer was acting in bad faith, that's between the lawyers. That's on the lawyer's shoulder. That has nothing to do with Hussey Gaining Ground or the case in general. It has nothing to do with the merit of the allegations or the case in general.
Come on now. Paragraphs 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 of plaintiff's motion contains recitations of law that have nothing to do with Judge Coleman's actual ruling on the merits of the issue before him. Wow. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs of plaintiff's motion contains recitations of law that have nothing to do with Judge Coleman's actual ruling on the merits of the issue before him. I love that. Argument number 29. It is undisputed that plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction came before Judge Coleman on, it says March 23rd, but that should be May. AK, you might want to, I don't know if you need that fixed. I don't know. Anyway, May 23rd.
Interesting. Isn't that funny? Everyone's laughing at the lawyer who made a clerical mistake, but the court themselves or whatever documentation has been passed along, they can't even get the dates correct. It goes to prove that absolutely how easy it is to make clerical errors. I'm so glad you caught that, Sam. Oy vey.
23rd, 2024 for a hearing on the merits of the said motion. Number 30, a hearing was in fact held and decided on the merits. 31, through the course of the hearing, plaintiffs, through their counsel, presented no admissible evidence for Judge Coleman's consideration. I know, Lisa. In fact, it might have been corrected before it was filed. Hey, Glamma Mayhem. Number 32, Judge Coleman dismissed said motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction as he had no basis.
The judge had to dismiss it. They legitimately could not proceed without approval for them to attend virtually. They literally could not proceed. Like, oh my.
Basis to do otherwise. Why? Because the plaintiffs, Hussey, Gigi, Cliffy, through their tax attorney, presented no admissible evidence for Judge Coleman's consideration.
I'll say again, I will keep repeating this as many times as I must. They could not provide evidence because they only could have done so by virtual means. And because a request and approval wasn't put forth, that was not possible.
Imagine. And then again, Judge Coleman dismissed the motion for TRO as he had no basis to do otherwise. Number 33, plaintiff's counsel now seeks a second hearing on the exact same motion/issues. 34, plaintiffs do not assert that Judge Coleman made any legal error or any error at all in denying their motion. 35, plaintiffs do not allege that new facts.
No, the judge did what the judge had to do. The lawyer made a clerical mistake. Hi.
Justifying the granting of such motion have arisen since May 23rd, 2024. The arguments of plaintiff's counsel can best be summarized as follows. This is fucking great. This attorney gets so freaking sassy. This is where AK's attorney is summarizing the tax attorney's argument as follows. 1, she's saying she did not understand the process to request a virtual hearing. 2, plaintiffs believe they could prove their case even though they failed to do so on the day assigned for the matter to be heard on the merits. right? Like you had, that's the lawyer saying you had your
They only failed to prove their case because they could not attend virtually, because a request was not put in properly. Like, man, she just keeps repeating these things. And her audience, the people watching, all 5 of them, is just eating it up and is going to very probably, definitely repeat these falsehoods. Man.
your day in court. You had your chance. They had over 2 months to prepare for it, and yet they didn't. They failed to do so on the day that was assigned for the matter to be heard on the merits. Number 3, that the plaintiffs therefore should be able to present said motion during a second hearing on the merits. Why? Why? 37. There is no
For those of you who don't understand, the lawyer is trying their damnedest to try and make it so that this case is thrown out simply because the lawyer made a clerical mistake. That's what Sam is reading. She's failing to acknowledge that all of these things, the evidence couldn't be produced, the case couldn't be made because it would have had to have been done virtually. And the whole point why this case could not occur on the day is because a request for virtual attendance was not made.
no Maryland rule that allows for a motion to be heard a second time after being denied on the merits based on the reasons asserted by plaintiff.
It was not denied based on the merits. Let's look up merits real quick. Let's look up the word merits just to be certain. Merits definition. Merits. Oxford Dictionary. The quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially so as to deserve praise or reward. Is there further that we can read? Synonyms: esteem, value, something that deserves or justifies a reward or commendation, a commendable quality, act, etc. The book's only merit is its sincerity. This case, again, was not thrown out based on its merits. It literally could not be seen in the court because it was never filed to be done so virtually. And because they live in an entirely different state, it would have had to have been done virtually.
Plaintiffs. On the contrary, Lisa Manning, you never told me how to say this either. On the contrary, the doctrine of collateral, I'm just going to say it the way it's written, estoppel or issue preclusion.
The whole point, Lit Match says you have no clue what you're talking about. The case was here and it was dismissed on its merits. The case was not able to be seen because of the clerical error. AK's own lawyer, Sam, just read out that no evidence could be heard, no argument could be made. That's not a case being heard. The case couldn't go through at all because a virtual request was not put in. I fear it's you who don't know what you're talking about.
Is best explained in the Bank of New York Mellon trustee et al. Versus Heinz Otto George et al. Blah, 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 blah. I couldn't read that shit.
And again, Lit Match says it's their fault they didn't file virtually. Now, if Hussey and Gaining Ground were representing themselves and did not have a lawyer, then you would be correct. That responsibility would have fallen on their shoulders. However, they did have a lawyer. Therefore, that responsibility falls on the feet of the lawyer. The lawyer made a clerical error. They made a mistake because they are not familiar with the virtual space or the way that it functions or requests being made or anything like that. It's a human error. That's just what it is. Like when you come in here and you're just willfully dishonest, it says a lot about you. It says a lot about where you stand. Why can't you just be honest? I've been able to be honest despite what I've gone through personally with AK. I can be honest when, say, things are not done by any fault of her own. I've said it was unfair. If she needs to pay her lawyer double time to show up to appear in court again for a mistake that was of no fault of her own. Like, why can't we just be honest about these things? I don't understand.
Blah, 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 prevents the hearing of the same issues. Relief requested, A, that the motion to reinstate case and request for a new TRO hearing be denied, and B, this is the best part. Oh, really? Estoppel? Thank you. B, that defendant be awarded such other and further relief as the nature of this cause may require. What does that mean? AK's in chat. I'm sure she's discussed it with her attorney, but also resident counsel is here. What could that mean, Manning? At minimum, $5,000 worth of attorney's fees. She says just filler language. All right. Somebody else answer who's going to give me a more exciting answer than that.
I want to. What did you say? I need to hear that again.
As the nature of this B, this is the best part. Oh, really? Estoppel? Thank you. B, that defendant be awarded such other and further relief as the nature of this cause may require. What does that mean?
I think that means, like I said in the beginning, I think AK would definitely have a case to, I think if she wanted to, sue the lawyer who made the mistake to recoup the funds that she spent to pay her lawyer for this day that didn't matter. You know what I mean? That ended up being a waste of time for everybody. I think that may mean that. Although I'm not 100% sure on that. And yes, Mr. Goose, she has been trying to pretend that this is an absolute win the entire time. She is absolutely trying to pretend that this is a win.
AK's in chat. I'm sure she's discussed it with her attorney, but also resident counsel is here. What could that mean, Manning? At minimum, $5,000 worth of attorney's fees. She says just filler language. All right. Somebody else answer who's going to give me a more exciting answer than that. Pay her lawyer likely. I think that they should.
Oh, look, guys. Oh, you can't see this. You can't see this because I'm not showing her the stream on screen. But guess what I just noticed? And I'll tell you what it means. This whole time I've been able to see Sam's live chat on replay. All of a sudden it says unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. Do you know what that means? That means that, and can somebody confirm this for me just to see if I'm correct? Usually what that means is that Sam has tried to private her live stream in an attempt to get me to stop reacting. Will one of you please do me a solid and go and try to click on Sam's live stream and see if it's privated? Will somebody please do me that favor? Because I have it already queued up. Yeah, hold on. I'll give you the link. Hold on. Wow, is this not even going to let me get the link? Oh, wow. I think that is what it means. I can't even retrieve the link right now. It's private. Tyler says it's private. Okay, so I was right. That means the only reason why I can still view it. Yeah, see, I don't see it on her channel. It's private for me. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Don't worry, Sandy S. They've already confirmed in chat that she's tried to private it so I could no longer react to it. Absolutely. And this is, let me tell you the secret. Let me tell you the secret as to why I can still watch her content even though it's private. It's because of cache. It's because of the way internet caching works, because I've already had this loaded up in its entirety. So it's if unless I leave the tab, it still allows me to play it, even though she's privated it. Like, man, how many times have they tried to do this to me and it didn't work? And still they didn't learn. They didn't learn. Man, that's hysterical. That is absolutely. And what does that tell you, guys? What does that tell you? So afraid of the truth that I'm speaking that she tries to cut it off so I can no longer react. Like, we're almost done anyway. What is she trying to make sure we don't hear,
Could have to
guys?
at least pay her the 25 hundo for this shit, because that tax attorney had no business filing this motion requesting a do-over. Get out of here. Costing her more attorney's fees. AK says, I don't know that it means anything. Very good says, why would you hire a tax attorney for this? It's like hiring a pastry chef to cook me a ribeye. Or is this tax attorney's case hiring the guy who cleans the halls at NASA to fly the space shuttle? Basically. AK says, but I want my money, bitch.
You know what's really
This
funny?
is why you're not good.
You know what's really funny? And shout out to AK just then for being honest. Like, AK did not pretend to know what that meant. And she said as much. Like, I will give respect when and where it's due. At least AK didn't come up with some fantastical fucking story to tell Sam for shits and giggles. But I'll tell you the truth, guys. I was just about to stop because we are very near the end of this live stream. But now, since I noticed that Sam privated it, what did she not want us to fucking hear? Now I'm really curious. Is there something she didn't want us to hear in the last, what, 9 minutes of this live stream?
At YouTube. You're great at YouTube and your role here, Manning, and we love you for it. We're not in kindergarten, for God's sake. Anyway, that's it. That is the response to the tax attorney's request for a do-over. Unreal. I think it's great. I mean, talk about can't take the L. God. Nikki B said, I thought Victor's filing was bad, but her panic filing is worse.
Yes, Sandy S. Thank God. My PayPal is up and running again. Not only is it fixed, Sandy S., but I hopefully very soon will have some pretty interesting information that I am hoping I can share with the public. So I'm so excited for that. And I hope you're excited too. But yes, the PayPal is definitely back up, running, functional. They were not successful at trying to, I don't know what, stop people from supporting the channel and bettering the channel financially. Like, the intentions are so fucked, man. Always so fucking nefarious.
God, it really is. Although I was delighted to see it. To be frank, we had Hussein at the helm. You guys are so funny. All right. Well, look, that was fun. That's all I have. I just wanted to read that with you guys, but I didn't want to stick it at the end of an Amber Lynn live stream. This is also what they threatened. They want to ruin AK financially. Wouldn't that be considered malice? It would. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if AK is.
I've never heard anybody claim that they want to ruin AK financially. All I've heard is Gaining Ground specifically beg her in many different ways to please stop defaming him in a way that is both damaging and dangerous. Nobody wants to ruin her financially. In fact, this has very little to do with money, if at all. This is about defamation. This is about dangerous and damaging lies that AK has run around the internet and told others, sought out larger platforms in you, Sam, and your wife to further what's the D word I'm looking for? I can't think of what I'm thinking of. To further promote her dangerous, damaging defamation. Not defame. I can't think of the word I was thinking of. It's a word it's a D word that means to disperse, although it's not the word disperse. Oh, I thought of another. Isn't that crazy that I can think of another similar D word, but I still can't think of the one that I'm looking for? Sometimes my mind works in a very strange way. I don't understand. No, not defamation. You know what's crazy? No, not discharge. Deploy? No. See, you guys can't think. Disseminate. Thank you, Evil Eye. Yo, that was driving me crazy. Thank you so much. Disseminate is the word. Thank you. Thank you. B. Walsh got it too. Manatee got it too. Thank you guys. That is definitely the word that I was thinking of, but could not bring to the front of my mind. Like, yikes. Why does that happen? I don't understand why that happens all the time. It was B first. It was you who said it first, right? You've never heard of that word in your entire 24 years of living? I use it quite often. I'm actually surprised I couldn't think of it. Is there anything else we've missed?
Is talking with her attorney about potentially filing something on them. I don't know how that would work. And you know what? AK doesn't discuss such things because AK is not a fucking moron. AK is not taking to the internet saying, something's coming. I got something in the works. There's a briefs being drafted. Just you wait, my pretty. I mean, Hussey says that they have no such evidence. Well, so do we. Oh, so much evidence. So do we.
Oh, wait. I think somebody just donated. Hold on. Let me make sure. Is this an old email? No, this is new. Oh my God. Somebody donated and said, even though I despise the Frost Cherry Gatorade, have one on me. Oh, thank you so much, Sandy S. And how dare you? I don't understand your life or your preferences. I don't understand a world where you could not love, enjoy, covet fucking cherry frost glacial Gatorade. But thank you so much for your generosity and your kindness and for your support of my love of glacial cherry Gatorade. I really appreciate you. Means a lot. Thank you for stop. How could you say that, Sandy? How could you say that? But also, thank you for sending. I don't know. You know what? It means even more to me, Sandy, that you hate it and still want to help me want to help provide me with one. That makes it all the more like I'm even more grateful. Oh, is that why? I use it for a colon blow, rolling on the fuck. It made me sick. I ruined it. Okay, now I understand then. I understand because now you immediately associate it with that experience. So I get it. Now I get it. Usually I wouldn't get it, but now I get it. What's delicious and delightful are the new sparkling Starburst sugar-free flavors. Yo, I've never even seen those in stores yet, but I would try them. Like I hope they have strawberry. The pink Starburst is my favorite. And yo, Sleepy Kitsune, I could not agree with you more if I tried. Worst Gatorade is the cucumber one. It absolutely is. To me, it tastes like you're drinking perfume. It smells like cucumber melon Bath and Body Works perfume. And I can't stomach it. Like the taste, even the texture I feel is different. Because yo, do you guys know what I mean? One of the biggest reasons why I like Gatorade so much is because it feels soft. It feels soft on the palate. It feels soft on the digestive system. It's just really soft. And for some reason, for me, the cucumber one is not soft. It's all right, Sandy. It is super all right. Because you know what? Truth, we were done with the Sam situation anyway. That was the end of it. The only reason I told you I was going to stop minutes before. The only reason why I continued and made sure to listen to the very end is because I wondered, since Sam privated the stream, it made me wonder if there was something she was trying to hide. So I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I mean, I think there was like one other person, Opal, who said they loved, was it you? There was somebody else, I forget who, said they loved the cucumber lime Gatorade and it was their favorite. And that's what began this conversation in the first place and made me, speak to the world that it was the most horrendous flavor I had ever tasted in my whole life, So so what do you guys think? I need your opinions. Should I Oh, hey Rio. How are you, Rio? I'm glad you're here. And Rio, I want your opinion on this too. Do you guys think I should private this live stream? Or do you think I should leave it up? What do you guys think? Should I leave it up? Or should I private it for just to not even give Sam the opportunity to, I don't know. You know what? I'm not even going to make my decision live. Yaba's dismissed case says leave it up. Could they strike it at all? I'm sure they could try. They absolutely can try. I don't know. I don't know what decision I'm going to make. And I'm not going to say publicly what decision I've made. I'm going to make the decision myself. So I guess you will see what my decision is if you try to come back to this live stream and it's private. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it, and I'm not going to give any hints or clues to to the dishonest fucking hippos on the other end of things. All right, so I'm going to go now, guys. And I absolutely did. See, B. Walsh, every single thing. The issue is that every single thing that they have that they have both successfully struck and tried to strike, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them. They're abusing the copyright system with the intention to silence. That is the intention. That's what they're doing. So whether it's transformative or not, it doesn't matter. All right, but I'm going to go, guys. Have a good night. We shall definitely reconvene tomorrow. All right, guys. Good night. Bye.